What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Narcos here, man. Swag Dad. And today, and as you can see by the title, I got a little story time for you guys, because I've never told this story, but I think I mentioned it in a YouTube video slightly. And this is about the time where I had to get a new engine on my Dodge Challenger SXT. Not my car now. This is not about my car now, right? Because I'd be pretty mad if that happened. So, starting off, if you live in South Florida, or if you know about South Florida, we get a lot of rain. We get a lot of rain down here. If you do recall, back in like late October or early November, we had that flash flood, and it was really bad. So what happened, pretty much, I remember that, you know, just kind of those few days, like I know the first day it was, you know, like it was raining, you know, pretty good, and I think it stopped for some time, and then I think it was the second or third day, as you know, we were on that storm warning or whatever, severe tropical storm warning, whatever. I think it was the next day or the night before, no, the day before this happened to my car. So it rained really hard, right? And there was water everywhere. I remember there was like on the news, and a car was, I guess, trying to drive through the water in one part of Broward County, and the water was so high the car couldn't see where it was going, and it ended up driving into a canal. And I mean, you know, they rescued the person, they had a diver go save the person, and you know, they were in a coma, but they woke up, they couldn't remember what happened. All they remember is that the car just pretty much, I guess, just dropped, right? So I remember going down to Costco gas, because you know Costco, they got some cheap gas. So I went down there, you know, to go fill the Challenger. You know, my SXT, if you didn't know, his name was Smoke. So we went to go fill up Smoke, right? Because you know, everybody wanted to smoke. But went down there, mind you, where I was going, and I'll put I think I have a video of when I was driving through Plaza, where there was a Best Buy, and it was filled there, and I couldn't really get to the Best Buy or anything because the whole parking lot was like filled, you know. So I was able to manage to drive through the water. You know, it might have been like maybe a few inches of water or so, you know. And then what I end up doing is, once I leave the Plaza, get back on the main road, and pretty much head on the state road to go to the Costco, because it's right next to that Plaza. It's pretty much like right there. You can pretty much, you know, go through the Plaza and then get to the Costco. But I got back on the main road because it wasn't as much water. So I'm pulling into the little side street and then trying to pull into the Costco gas station. I kid you not, whole thing was just flooded. But what I did was I stopped first. Instead of just be like, oh, there's cars behind me, I'm just gonna go anyway. I'm watching to see, you know, these cars, just to get an idea of how deep it was, right? So I'm seeing like cars that have lower suspension and, you know, stuff like that, driving through the water, and just seeing how much water covers their wheels. And it, you know, it was like, it had to be at least 3, 4, maybe 5 inches of water, you know. And so I'm hesitant, so you know, I let some people go by past me, and then I'm like, all right. And it's not a lot of people that, you know, were getting gas because of it, but at the same time there was a lot of people trying to get gas. And I kid you not, even when I was at the Best Buy, the Plaza, there were cars already sitting there stalled out. And then you start seeing all the tow trucks everywhere. They were making money that day and that night, right? So just to speed up the story, pretty much I kind of drive through it. My car feels like it's kind of floating, but it's on the ground. You know, I roll my window down, I'm looking, you know, I could pretty much see 3/4 of my wheels anyway. So I'm like, okay, get up to the pump, right? Because the pump is the high point. There's no water, it's dry where the pump's at. So I fill up my car, right? And mind you, the car, you know, starts and everything. So I'm turning around to go back out to the little side street to get back on the state road, and the water there was, I'm gonna say, it looked like it was the equivalent of when I first came in to the, you know, to the gas station. And, you know, I'm watching the water, same thing. I could see 3/4 of my wheel. I wasn't driving fast and hydroplane through it or anything, you know, because, you know, the whole thing with the intake, air intake and stuff. So, you know, I literally sit in one little high point so I can, because there's a stop sign and there's like 3 cars waiting. So I didn't want to just sit there, you know, with my car just sitting in the water like that. So I wait at the high point and I wait probably till the van that was in front of me get to the stop sign and get ready to pull off. And then, you know, I I'm driving slow, taking my time, no need to rush. And literally, I kid you not, as soon as I get to the stop sign, you know, I look, I'm like, okay, I'm clear to go. As soon as I pull out from the stop sign, my car just goes a little and then it shakes a little bit. I literally make it to the other side of the side street, the side road, to the other side, where pretty much there's a Tires Plus and there was like a motel right there, right? My car like shaked, it slowed down, and then like my lights came on and it was beeping. It was like as if like when you need a new battery, or when your car is dead and it doesn't want to crank, right? My car the engine on my car hydro locked, because I guess water, you know, got into the intake, it sucked it into the engine, and bam, it hydro locked my car. And you know, when your engine hydro locks, you need a completely new engine. So the worst part, well, the very worst part was, you know, I'm sitting on the phone trying to get roadside assistance, and because it was so bad and there's cars even around me that were getting their cars towed and stuff, I literally waited. It was around 3:30, 3:45 in the afternoon, and I waited like 9 hours for a tow truck to come. And instead of it being, you know, a tow truck with my insurance, it was one where I just pay out of pocket because it seemed like they got there faster. I waited from 3:30 in the afternoon to about 12:45 midnight. And they finally came. My mom, like, she pretty much like drove up, waited for me and everything, because I told her what was going on. And she waited for me, and you know, one of my sisters was in the car. I didn't know what to do. I was mad, I was sad. I just felt like, dang bro, like I just lost the car, and you know, even like with the insurance, I don't know what's gonna happen. So then my car gets towed, you know, to the dealer. Yeah, so you know, the guy tows it there. I go home, you know, I try to find out with insurance and like my quote. So my dealer, the guy was telling me like I'm looking at about 10 grand, like 10,000, and that's for a used engine, right? And the V6 and everything. Luckily though, I was devastated. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if I had to get another car, if this was gonna if they were just gonna pay the car off and that was just it, or what. So then, luckily we have Geico insurance. You know, we pay a lot in Geico. You know, Geico is expensive, but it does have its perks. So there was a guy that came out, you know, the insurer, whatever it is. He came out, you know, he went to the dealer, checked the car out, was able to get them to bring the price down because they were adding on stuff that didn't really have to be replaced, like my starter. He said if I wanted to get the starter replaced, I could. You know, they would just have to do it a little later, but but he recommended that I don't have to get a new one. It's fine how it was. And so, you know, from there, pretty much instead of 10 grand, it was probably around like 99,700 and you know, some dollars. I had to pay a $500 deductible, but that's, you know, paying only $500 for a new engine, because I had to get a new motor, new engine block. I had to get all that stuff, right? So thank God for that. But it took 3 weeks for me to get my car, and literally I didn't get my car. I got my car after, like, the week after Thanksgiving. One thing that made up for that was because that was also around the time I was able to cop a PS5, that was the good part. But yeah, because I remember I kept calling, and first they'd be like, oh, it'll be done Wednesday. The Wednesday turned into Friday, Friday turned into possibly Saturday because the guy was gonna work overtime. Then it turned into Monday, Monday turned into Tuesday, finally got the car. You know, it felt so good being back in there. Like, I had to take I was taking my mom's car to work to downtown Miami. And, you know, so I paid that $500 deductible, got my car back. And ever since then, I mean, we haven't had no storm or no flash flood like that. But even if I see like a puddle of water on the road, if I can U-turn and head towards traffic and be okay, I for sure would. I really would, you know. Moral of the story is, if there's a flood, don't drive nowhere, don't go nowhere, just stay in the house. You know, if you really don't feel comfortable going anywhere, you're not safe, don't do it, don't risk it, because I mean, you could be, you know, risking your life, or you could be risking it on your car, and you know, stuff like that happens. But I mean, hey, stuff happens, you know, got insurance. Also, another thing was Geico, they had to bring agents from different places, I think even out of the state and out of the city, to come down to South Florida to check out all these cars. Like literally my insurance guy, the agent, he was at the car lot that was across the street from my dealership. Like, that's how bad it was. And I remember getting my car, the lady that you know, handles all the, you know, payments and stuff, she literally told me that over 30 cars had been towed here, or towed to the dealership, because of the flood. So, you know, it made me not feel as bad, because I feel like I did something stupid. You know, I probably should have been more careful, but you know, I wasn't, you know, like, oh, I'm just gonna drive through this. And you know, I did take precautions, but it just ended up happening. Another thing she was mentioning was like at least half the people that had to get their car towed didn't have insurance. So I think they either had to pay out of pocket, or they just had to get rid of the car, man. But if you enjoyed that video, I know this, you know, I kind of made that long. I tried to make it as short as possible. If you enjoyed that video, guys, please make sure to like this video, comment on it, share it with others, please, because we are at, I think, 902 subscribers. I only need 98 more to get to 1,000, and I feel like it's taken me way longer than it should have been for me to get there. But guys, please make sure, if you can share this video or share my channel with others, that would be a big help. And you know, road to 1K, let's get there. We almost there. And yeah, make sure you subscribe too if you enjoyed this video and you want more content. Tomorrow, that's another thing. Tomorrow, I meant to mention at the beginning of the video, I actually received my mud flaps, or my rock guards, from ZL1 add-ons. Their name's here too. So yeah, we're actually gonna be installing these tomorrow. I was gonna try to do it today, but you know, getting home and daylight savings time, I mean, it is a little, you know, it stays a little brighter later, but yeah, we're gonna save it for tomorrow, because I was like, I'll do this video now, and then we could do a mod for the scat pack tomorrow. So I will catch you guys in the next one. Narcos out.